From now on, I'm telling Tibbs, coach, I'm good. I got my extension now. I got guaranteed. Now I'm like, height limit I'm guarding is 6'6" and under. 6'6", 6'2", and 6'6". What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Roommates presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. The summer vibes are always immaculate. This is a Playmaker original. So today, I feel like we always say special guest, but I feel like this isn't a guest. We got family on. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer, two-time Coach of the Year, gold medalist with Team USA, six-time Big East Coach of the Year. And two-time Coach of the Year. That's really impressive, Coach. And coach of the all-decade team, two-time national champion at Villanova, our guy, Coach Jay Wright, man. So we appreciate you for coming on the pod.
This is a thrill, man. Jay boy, just Jay Hart, great to be with you guys. Matt, it's been a long time, man. I love being with you guys. I watched this. I've feared this day. It's an honor being invited, but I knew anything could come out on this show. I've seen it. I've watched it. Here we go, brother. Here we go.
That's Jalen's fault, man. Jalen always goes for those moments.
No, I don't.
I don't know, man. Josh, you went for those moments when we were at Villanova, so it hasn't changed much.
Elaborate on that. What do you mean? Like, what is the moment that Josh has stood out to you? Elaborate on that.
We could hit a million of them. I was thinking about doing this, and I was thinking. Remember, I used to say to you guys, look, while you're here at Villanova, you got to do things our way. You got to prove to me like you can do things in a disciplined manner. And I want you to be able to take that for the rest of your life so that I know you've got that in you, a disciplined, respectful approach to life and the game. And then when you leave here, whatever you do, I got to support it. And I will. I'll support it 100%. But, some of the stuff Josh says and does, I got to go with it now, man. I got to go with it. So, he did everything. He did everything our way at Villanova. He was a stud. He was awesome to coach. But now, you and I talk about it, Jay, at the press conferences with the pizza at the press conference stuff. I got to support it now. I said I was going to support it. I support it, even though it drives me crazy.
Yeah. Josh has, let's just say, once he stepped foot off Villanova, he has completely changed.
He unwound all those good habits he built.
Lost all those habits. Lost all of them.
Except for the Mike and Ike's. That's the only one that stayed.
Oh, and playing hard. And
practicing. And practicing.
Why? Is he good at practice now? No complaining in practice?
Oh, no. He's still the same in practice. He's still the same.
I remember at your wedding, I asked, Tibbs and I were talking about Josh, and I said something about practice, and I said, he's great. Like, he'll compete, but he complains on every drill, every call. He wants to win every drill, and he's always bitching and complaining. He's like, oh, exactly the same. He's still the same. I said, that's good. He's still got his competitiveness.
Yeah, with Tibbs, not like. With Tibbs, I just messing with Tibbs more so we'll be going through a play. For example, we'll drop a play and I'll be like, yo, do we got a name for this play before we go through it? And he's like, nah. I think this is something I'll call after we, huddle up in a timeout or something. So, me just being the smart ass that I am, I'll get the ball, slap the ball, like, all right, after timeout, and I'll start doing stuff. So and like I just like with Tibbs, it's just fun because like I'll just go back and forth with just like the dumbest thing, like any play call, any whatever you can think of. I just have to like find my way to just say something.
I remember NBA scouts being at practice, and we were starting warm-ups, and you know how we'd try to be like attentive to every little detail. And Jay, you remember Josh would just be like, just getting them going in the beginning. If it wasn't a competitive drill, he was just like, I know in his mind he was thinking, why are we doing this? But he was always respectful, always respectful. But I'm thinking to myself, he's got NBA scouts watching. We're going through like layup drill. And he is like just walking through it. I just go by and whisper in his ear like, dude, you are embarrassing me and yourself in front of these NBA coaches. Please pick it up. And he'd give it that look like, damn, but he'd do it. He'd always do it. But once anything became competitive, when it became competitive, then it was out of control.
Clearly it didn't matter. Josh didn't really care for the details and still went first round. I did everything I possibly could and went in the second round.
Exactly. It shows you, 6'5", for 6 foot. You know what I mean?
Come on now.
No, it was
6'1".
No, it was. But the concepts, like he got all the concepts, like playing hard, competing, defense, rebound, like concepts he got. Attention to detail in practice. Like in games, he was attentive to details. Practice was like he was up there with Allen Iverson. Practice, like you kidding me? You kidding me?
You're talking about just the practice habits, though, right? We're not talking about Hall of Fame level talent and player. We're talking about just his practice habits.
You never know, man. You never know.
Oh no, we know. We know. We just
you never know. He's got time. He's getting better every year. I love it.
My thing is at like high school, Villanova, like I learned the rules. So like you got to learn the rules and all that, in order to break them. You know what I mean? So it's like I learned them in high school, college, and I got to the league, and I'm just like, you know what? I can pick my spots. I'm like, do I got to do every one of these drills in practice? Not really. Like, if I don't do the drill, am I still going to play? And it's like, the answer is like, yeah, that's like, all right. So I can like do, like at Nova, it was like, I got to do this if I got to play. Like, it was all those kind of things. Like, if we didn't go to class, we're not starting, we're not playing. So it was like, you had to do it. Now it's like, you know what? If I head back to the training room for like the next like 15 minutes, I'll still play tomorrow. So I was like, what? Let's see.
Oh my God. You would have drove me crazy. You would have drove me crazy. Thank God. Jay, you don't talk to him about this stuff, man?
No. My job is to come in there, practice, get my routine in, and go home. I don't babysit anybody.
The funniest thing is so obviously JB will come in and if we're in the locker room, we'll be saying something like guys will say, "Oh man, like today's gonna be like we're gonna hoop," or like today we're gonna like it's gonna be a hard practice or something like that, and I'll just be like, "Yeah, hard for y'all. Y'all gonna have to get after it today. I'm limited. I'm no contact today."
Oh my God!
Right when they start playing, yeah, is this live? Tips, is this live? Yeah, I'm out. I can't do this. I'm sorry.
That's not every time though. It's
not every time.
So Josh and Jalen just signed this roommates t-shirt, and now you can win it. Just bet $20 with Fanatics Sportsbook on any sport, and you'll get entered to win. Actually, each day you bet $20 with Fanatics Sportsbook is another entry, and this lasts for 7 days, so you can enter 7 total times. Don't miss it. No purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Must be 21 plus, ends June 27th. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Please play responsibly. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
This year has gone by so quickly. What's something that you're proud of that's happened in 2024? What's something you still want to accomplish this year?
When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins.
And make adjustments for the rest of the year.
Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months.
For example, it's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries.
It empowers you to be the best version of yourself.
It isn't just for those who experience major trauma.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try.
It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and change therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Take a moment.
Visit BetterHelp.com/roomies today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/roomies.
We'll save the Josh therapy story for when Shannon comes on the pod.
We're gonna have that conversation on the pod. I was like, yeah, because we had BetterHelp.
What is it in you? What is the combative nature? Like, I could see it was in you the whole time when you were at Villanova. Like, you just didn't want to let everybody know you were all in, but you really were. And when it came game time, we all knew you were all in. And if anybody got on you about it, you'd always respond. You were always respectful. But what is it in that head that makes you like, I just don't want to show everybody I'm all in?
I don't know. I just want to do it like, I'm going to be all in, but I just want to like, I don't know. I'm going to be all in. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. But up until then, I'm just vibing. I'm here. I'm chilling.
He's the type.
You know what I mean?
No, he's BSing. He's the type of person. If you tell him to do something, he's going to do the opposite every single time.
You're right.
He doesn't like being told what to do. He will do the opposite every single time, or at least he'll say the wrong thing, and then he'll eventually do it. But he's just an asshole. That's just how he is.
That is the truth, though. You always. Like you'd always put up some type of fight against anything, like just, like whether we were gonna leave at 4:30 or 5. If I said 4:30, you'd like, why can't we leave at 5? But then you'd show up at 4:25. You'd be on time. You'd do what you're supposed to do, but you just had to be a malcontent. You had to show at some point that you had the opposite view. But then you were always all on board. And then when it came to game time, you always knew the scouting report better or as well as anybody. You always made the right plays. You always did the right thing. It was crazy. I didn't think you'd be this crazy in the NBA, though. I'll tell you that. I did not think you'd be this crazy.
The difference is, it's like what? This is just finished my 7th year. So it's like most of the guys like that I'm going to play against, like I played against for, 6-7 years. So it's like, or I would say, I won't even say that. I at least played against them for like 3-4 years plus. So it's like, you start knowing guys' tendencies and all of that. And especially like, certain people, like they have the same game. So it's like, I know what they do, Tibbs knows what they do. I know Tibbs knows I know. So me running around and doing this, we don't have to do it. Like, I know, I know. So like, let's just rock with that and like get there. But like, we don't have to like drill in Josh, this guy's going to go left. He's going to spin back right, finish right hand. Like, we don't got to do that. I know. Don't worry. When 7:30 comes, I will be ready. I promise you. But at 10 o'clock, I'm here for vibes. I'm here so I'm not in trouble.
Just please don't give Tibbs the Wilt Chamberlain. Don't give him the Wilt Chamberlain line. He hasn't done yet. He hasn't done that, Jalen, has he? His coach was the first guy that started game day walkthroughs because they didn't do that in the NBA. And his coach, I think it was Bill Sharman with the Lakers, started game day walkthroughs. And Wilt said, you got me to show up. I'm showing up one time today. I'll show up for the walkthrough, but I'm not showing up for the game. So make your choice. You want me at walkthrough? You want me at the game?
Exactly.
Just make sure
you want me at 10
no,
or 7:30?
don't. I'm telling you, don't. No.
What time you want me? 10 or 7:30?
He says it, but he's there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the thing. That's the thing. Exactly. Could you imagine being Shannon and living with that? Could you imagine living with that every day?
She's the only one who matches his stubbornness. It's actually very impressive. Like it's like when an unstoppable object meets like an immovable force. Like it's crazy.
That's crazy, man. And his mom and dad are the nicest people in the world. How does that happen? How does he get like that, man?
Matt
money
has known
money changes you.
Money.
No, he was like that.
Money.
He had that when he was in Villanova. He had no money. He just thanked God for his parents. He was respectful.
And when he got it, he took it to a whole nother level.
He is taking it to another.
No, I have to do it because I only get bossed around by one person, and I'm with that person 24/7. So now when I'm not there, I can't get bossed around. I'm like, you know what? This is time for me to stand. This is time for me to stand my ground. Damn it, I'm standing my ground on this one.
It takes a real man to admit that, Jay Hart. It takes a real man to admit that. I know.
Josh,
I get the feeling, man. I get that. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
Speaking of,
go ahead,
Jay.
Matt. No.
I was going to say, speaking of standing your ground, Coach, I'm going to have Jalen paint a scenario, a real life scenario that happened, and I want you to tell me how you would have reacted if Josh did this to you. So, JB, can you just say the ballroom, put your hands out story real quick for Coach and tell me how Coach would have reacted?
So, earlier game, we don't go to the arena. We doing the ballroom walkthrough.
And he had just got to the Knicks.
Just got to Knicks. This is our first ballroom walkthrough. Okay, we're in Sacramento. This man, it was my dad's scouts. My dad's doing the plays or whatever. And Tiz is like, guys, like have your hands out, like be in the stance. And Josh is hooded up, like flip flops on, like tight ass fucking Lululemon shorts he has on, and he's just like he didn't say like, no, he just wasn't doing it. And then he said, Josh, put your hands up. He's like, man, you don't gotta worry about me on defense, Coach.
Oh no.
And he said
to your dad?
To Tibbs. Tibbs. My dad's not saying that. He's just going through the plays. He's going through the plays. And then Tibbs just goes,
you don't got to worry about me on defense.
No, I do got to worry about you. You don't know this. No, he said, no, Coach, you don't got to worry about me. That's what I do. I play defense.
Oh, God help me. God help me. I worry. See, it was just, I was lucky to have him in college when he still listened to his parents. He listened to his coaches. He was honestly crazy as he was a joy in college. Now I watch him. I just worry like, what's he going to say? But once the game's on, I know he's good. I worry about press conferences. I worry about him on this show. That's where I worry about him. But once the game starts, I know he's good, man. And then I can relax. For the next 48 minutes.
The funniest thing about that story that we never talked about is I think we start, like we're playing sack. I think we go down by like 15 or 20. JB like just got back from injury and like re-aggravated his injury like at the end of the first quarter. So we go down like 20. And then we like come all the way back and like I have almost like a triple double. The funniest thing about it is De'Aaron Fox blew past me twice at the end of the game for layups. And we never talk about that part where we talk about, you don't got to worry about me on defense.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was just like that. And it's like, I had a good game, but we never talked about De'Aaron Fox like blowing by me twice for like game-winning layups.
You know Tibbs was thinking that, man. You know he was definitely thinking that.
I just had to set the tone early. What's it?
This episode is brought to you by Whoop.
Whoop is a 24/7 health and fitness wearable that tracks your daily activity like other wearables. But where it really shines is in its detailed breakdowns of your sleep, recovery, stress, and more to help provide you with personalized insights and feedback on your health.
I've been wearing Whoop for the last 4 years, and it's really helped me understand my recovery and sleep and make sure I'm prepared for when I need to be at my absolute best.
It's not just for professional athletes, though. I've also been wearing Whoop for about 3 or 4 years, and it really helps me stay on top of my health, get a deeper insight into my sleep. It's the first thing I check every morning. It gives you a recovery score based on your sleep and your body's vitals, and it acts as your daily guide for how much you should push yourself in your workouts.
Ooh, I was 93% recovered.
Mine was a 55.
Dang.
But see, that's because I'm pushing my body these days, and you're resting your body. Throughout the day, Whoop tracks every heartbeat and keeps you updated on the exertion and stress you're putting on your body. Then each night, Whoop will give you a suggested bedtime based on your day and how recovered you'd like to be the following day. Whoop can help track it all to show you the positives and negatives of your lifestyle.
Want to try for yourself? Try Whoop for 1 month free on us and get your health journey started.
So Josh, we got Tommy John, second skin. Makes me feel confident, comfortable. I just can't go a day without wearing this stuff, man. It's just amazing. What are your thoughts on that?
For me, man, it's comfortable, it's lightweight. The biggest thing for me, it doesn't ride up your leg. I think that's the biggest thing. I like being comfortable. I hate boxers riding up your leg. You got to pull them down, doing all that, man. I love these because they don't ride up. They're comfortable, they're lightweight, man. So shout out to Tommy John.
How many times are you going to say they don't ride up?
They don't ride up. I said it 3 times.
The same.
We're doing a promotion.
Promotion. What's so funny?
I'm just happy that I found boxes that don't ride up. Get 20% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/roomies.
Make sure you get a pair of Tommy Johns today. Since we're going to continue to talk about this league talk, I had a notification come across my phone this week, and it was like, Lakers interested in Jay Wright. And I was like, there ain't no way in hell this man's getting back into coaching. He is living his life to the fullest.
I am enjoying. I think you guys wore me out, man. I got nothing left after dealing with you guys, man. But I'm enjoying this. I love being able to watch you guys. I really do. When I would talk to you guys, but I wouldn't be able to really watch you guys when we were in it because we were so busy. I'm enjoying watching you guys. I enjoy watching Nep and Mike Nardi and those guys and Dwayne Anderson. Those guys run practice, be over there with Baker and Randy Foy, and watch all you guys in the league. I'm enjoying it, man. I am. I feel like I was so blessed to have that run with you guys. You got to admit, like we had the greatest guys. We had great teams. It was a great time in college basketball. I just feel so blessed. I don't want to mess with that, and I want to watch you guys do your thing now, man. I'm enjoying this. I really am.
But I remember you saying when you came back from USA Basketball, you were like, "Whoa, like these dudes, man, like playing, like coaching, like pros. It's like it's different." So like, did you ever like have like even like an itch to try and coach the league?
There was a time when I really thought in the back of my mind, my plan was going to be, all right, take Villanova as far as we can take it, make sure the program's in a great position, and then go to the NBA, try the NBA. If you're good at it, great. Stay. If you're not, you're going to get fired in the NBA, but be at a point where you're satisfied with your college career. That's what I thought I was going to do. And there was a time, you guys remember Ed Stefanski was the president of the 76ers. He lived around us at Villanova, and he lived right in Wayne, and he was the president of the 76ers. I can't remember what year that was, but I actually went over to his house and we talked about me taking that job. Typical Philadelphia. He had hoagies. We sat at his kitchen table, drew up plays, and ate hoagies. And I thought about it, but then I thought at that point, like, I'm gonna probably go to the NBA, get fired in a few years. If I got fired, what would I want to do? I'd want to go back and coach at Villanova. So I thought, why leave it? And then finally, to your point, Jay, coaching those guys in the Olympics, I swear to you, and you guys talked about it with me. I loved coaching those guys. But it was a short period. It wasn't an NBA season. And we had Dame Lillard, Kevin Durant, Jrue Holiday. We had Draymond Green. We had great players. So it was like the perfect situation to coach those guys. And I realized if you go to the NBA, you don't have all those guys on one team. It's going to be a little different. And I felt like I got my taste of it, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it, but I just felt like I didn't have anything in me at the end of my college career to take that jump to the NBA. So I did think about it some, but I would always check in with you guys, tell you, you'll get your opinion on what you thought about it. You guys honestly think could I deal these days? Could I do it?
No. Absolutely not. No, I won't say absolutely not. I would say it would be different. It would be totally different. Like, I feel like in college, like, obviously it's coaching and coach that you're like teaching young men how to be players and how to be young men. At least that's what we did at Nova. Like, I feel like in the league, you're just like playing chess. You're putting pieces in to see what's going to work and what may not work. And so, yeah, it just would have been a little different. I think you could do it for sure. I don't know if you would want to do it.
I feel like it's harder to build culture in the league too, and that's one of the things you do so well is you build culture. I feel like with guys are a revolving door. Front office, it's all just a revolving door. And I feel like, when you're talking to a 30-year-old who's making $250 million, are they going to buy into the culture that you set, And
I think I got spoiled with the Olympics. Like, you're working with guys that are like such consummate professionals. Like, I remember like Kevin Durant had his routine every single, like, he'd practice, we'd go through practice, and then he had to get his routine in every day. And with the Olympics, we were the assistant coaches, me and Steve Kerr, and we had to. There was no managers or anything, so we had to rebound for these guys, which I loved. But I'd go through Kevin Durant's workout with them in 40 minutes at the end of every practice shooting, and I was amazed at. Dame Lillard was the same way. All those guys were. I was amazed at their commitment to their craft. And I don't know if everybody's like that, but it was really, that was enjoyable to be with the best and the most committed players in the world and then compete with them for a gold medal. It was I felt like I got a taste of it, probably the best taste you can get coaching the best in the world in the Olympics.
Coach, what was I don't know why I just thought about this, but what do you feel like was your best college coaching year?
I'll tell you one thing I've been thinking about, Josh, when people were talking about you during people asked me, did you think Josh Hart was going to be this good? Like, no one talks about the fact that, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I was just thinking about this before I came on the show. in 2017, we won in 16. In 2017, weren't we the number one seed in the NCAA tournament that year? The number one overall seed, right? And weren't you a finalist for National Player of the Year?
Mm-hmm.
That right? I mean, he came in second for National Player of the Year, right? Yeah. So I was like, it's not that big of a surprise that he's that good of a player, because I thought that year in college basketball, I thought you were the best player in the country. I might have been a little. Who won it that year? Who?
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He's a good player. I thought that year, for having an overall year, I thought you had the best year of anybody in the country. And I thought that team was an amazing year. I mean, we ran into Wisconsin in that second round. But my point for saying that is, like, there were some years where you don't win the championships that were just incredible seasons. There was a season before you guys got there in 15 where we won the most. We were number one seed again, and we won the most games in the history of any team of Villanova before I think you guys did it. But we were number one seed, lost in the second round when Darren Hillier was a senior. It was a great year. So 16 and 18 were amazing, but some of those years around there were really cool too.
Josh, didn't you overlap with Darren?
I was with Darren for two years.
That might have been your freshman year, sophomore year.
Yeah, freshman year.
That year we lost to NC State. Were you on that team, Josh?
Yeah, that was my first year.
That was
my second year. Yeah.
And Mikal was redshirt.
Yeah, that was Javon Darren senior year.
You know what I remember? Do you remember, Josh, when we played at Purdue? And I don't know what year this was. That's why I always wanted to ask you.
Josh's senior year.
It was Josh's senior year we played at Purdue? Did we play at Purdue before that when you were younger, Josh?
That was my first time.
That was your first time?
Yeah.
Because you had some crazy shots in that game that I wanted to kill you when you took them. And I remember one spec. I was going to choke you right in front of our bench. You drilled him. I was like, this dude is unbelievable, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe he's pulled this off.
When you were yelling at Josh during the game against Oklahoma, like Josh is like picked up a dribble. It was like pivoting, and he and he shot it and made it. And coach was like, "Pass the fucking ball." And Josh was like, "There's no one to pass to."
Josh and I had some good ones. Jalen, you and I had some.
Hey, we're talking about Josh right now. We're talking about Josh right now.
We had some good ones like that. I always loved your guys' aggressiveness. I loved it. I gave you freedom. I trusted you, and that was kind of my way of saying, okay, you're taking it a little bit too far. But 95% of the times it worked. It worked well. You know, what was one of my favorites you did on your show when you showed that, and I remember it clear as day. When you showed that video of Josh flexing in front of the camera, and we brought it in the next day and put it up on the screen. I watched you guys do that on your show. That was one of my all-time favorites.
Look, Matt, we walk in to film the next day, and coach, one of the coach's big sayings, like, we play for teammates and coaches. Like, we don't play to the crowd. Like, you got the energy, bring it to, like, give it to your teammates and all that. So I forgot it was like one game I scored. I got an and one. I like flex into the crowd or whatever, or like into the camera. And we walk into film on the second floor the next day, and you just turn and look, and the film, like, before anything plays, it's just the still of me flexing in the camera. And it was like, oh, damn, this is going to be a long film session.
But that's where you were great, man. That's what I loved about you. Like, you could do that, and you had an intelligence. Like, all right, I screwed up. I get his point. It's not going to change. It's not going to change who I am, but I get his point, and that you understood that your actions impacted everybody else. You had an amazing understanding of that, and that I always respected that about you, and still do Although sometimes like post-game press conference with pizza and stuff, I don't know, but
I just had in my mind that said, and I used to tell like when you probably wouldn't like, but I used to tell when recruits would come, and they'd be like asking like how does coach that you play or da da da, and I was like, bro, to be honest, as long as you play hard. And if you jump stop in the lane, you can do whatever the hell you want. I was like, bro, I used to jump stop in the lane, shoot turnaround fades, and you never like if I just shot like a regular like fadeaway or like a step back fadeaway, it was gonna be a problem. But I knew once I jump stop and I hit one pivot, and I could shoot whatever I wanted. Same thing with JB. JB knew you jump stop and hit a pivot, bro. You good? Do whatever.
I was in this, like, literally going back home in the summer and, like, working out with, like, my dad and my trainer. We would say, yo, we got to do the Josh Hart pivot, turnaround, fade. Turnaround, fade.
Hey, didn't I tell you guys, though, I would always tell you, look, you guys are great off one foot. If we could at least teach you how to play off 2 feet, you got the 1 foot down. And, man, do you do it, Josh? You drive baseline now, jump in the air, double clutch in the air, fire passes. You would have never done that in college, but I knew you could do that. I knew. You know how many of our players like would say to me, yo, did you see Josh? Did you see Jalen? They go off 1 foot. They're throwing crazy. I said, yeah, when you go to the NBA, you can do that. But right now, you got to learn how to play off 2 feet. Then you'll be able to do it because I already know you can do that.
I was going to say still to an extent it's the Josh Hart, but in college, the true Josh Hart was 2 dribbles to the right hand spin.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't understand why people don't. I'm like, why aren't they scouting that more? Because it's just the same move, and he can somehow pulls it off every time.
He's got a unique craftiness to finish around the rim that is bizarre because he's a right-hander that really likes going left more, and that throws people off. But if you take his left hand away, he's a right-hander. He finishes going right. It's bizarre. I would love to be able to teach somebody that, but I just don't think you can't. And think about it. If you could teach a right-hander to have his best move going left, but also just be strong going right, it's awesome because it screws people up. Because you could tell somebody he likes to go left, all they want. You get in the heat of a game and you see a right-hander coming down the right-hand dribble, there's no way you're going to get on his left side. There's no way. He kills people with that.
This next segment is brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Josh, after a hard-fought game, what is more rewarding for you, a nice Bordeaux or some Mike and Ike's?
Definitely the nice Bordeaux because I have Mike and Ike's like before the game, during the game, and after the game. So more rewarding, definitely the Bordeaux.
Coach, did you try at all to try and thwart his Mike and Ike's habit?
We used to take him out of his locker. I just try to talk to him about all the time. Josh, honestly, just for my own knowledge, like how much, I didn't want you eating them. How much did you get away with them while you were playing with us?
I mean,
every game you hid them from me. I never saw them
every day.
Every game I played at Nova, I had Mike and Ike's before the game. Jalen knows. You didn't notice, like Jalen lived with me. Like the little plastic filing, like little cabinets. I had one of those in my dorm, and we used to take the GA's cards, and it started with Harkins. I used to take his card because I had unlimited points. So I'll go to the little West Campus store, spend like $400 in like points, and I used to get all the candy, the snacks, sodas, and everything. So my room, it was if you walked into my room any given time, like it would have been bad.
Oh, thank God.
He had like a 5-gallon bag of Mike and Ike's.
Oh my God.
Shout out to my Aunt Diana. She always used to give me, whenever we played Creighton, she would go, Coach would meet him, and she always would bring me the big 5-pound bag of Mike and Ike's.
I was hugging them all up. I didn't know they were going behind my back bringing Mike and Ike's in there.
They're giving cookies and Mike and Ike's. Yeah.
Oh my God. Did your mom and dad know about? Your mom and dad had to know about the Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew about it.
They're the greatest people.
I think
They're the
somehow you were
greatest
the only
people in
one
the
that
world.
didn't.
Because I probably didn't want to know. I know. I was most concerned about seeing them in the locker room because early on I saw you had them in the locker room. I told you I don't want to see those. You can't eat those before a game. Can't have them during a game. So I never saw them in the locker room. I figured outside you're eating them
dumped them out in the locker room. I dumped them out in my parka jacket pocket. So when I was sitting in my locker, I can just go. I can just do that, and I'll put the box in the trash can and take a piece of paper towel and like put it right over the trash so you couldn't see it.
Thank God, man. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's more. I'm glad I didn't know about. Still glad I had you, though, brother. Still glad I had you. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
Moving on, JB, what was the most rewarding part of your Villanova experience?
I had a couple great moments. But obviously the easy ones, you could say the championships, you could say the player of the years, but I just have to say it, I loved being undefeated against Temple. I have to say it. That's just I talk to my parents about it all the time. Never lost a Big Five game.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't think Josh did either.
No,
maybe he did.
Nah. Don't put it on me. I never lost Big Five.
I never lost a Big Five game.
That's cool.
Wow. I knew we had a run. I didn't know you guys never lost one.
Never lost a Big Five game.
Wow. You were maniacal at Temple when we would play at Temple. So you played at Temple twice?
Yep.
You were maniacal in those games. And I knew it was coming, and I wasn't even gonna try to stop it. Because as aggressive as you were, you still always made the right play. That's the other thing about Josh we say about how crazy he is. You guys still always made the right play. And like every once in a while I'd yell at you about passing. And it was really just you made so few bad decisions. It was like you might make a bad decision one time, so I'd yell at you. But you guys were awesome at that. At being, it's natural to you guys. It's normal, but teaching somebody to be really aggressive on every play, but yet still make the right decision is really hard to do. And you guys probably did that the best of anybody. It's easy to be aggressive in every possession and just make bad decisions. And it's easy to just make good decisions, not make mistakes, but not be aggressive. It's hard to do both. You guys are the best at it.
Thanks for listening to the Fanatics Most Rewarding Summer segment. Be sure to download the app to join in on the fun.
Just want to, hopefully you remember this. Oh no, actually you definitely remember this. It's 2018, year we won the national championship. Our last loss that season. We lose to Creighton in overtime. A couple of us went for some steals that we should have went for, and threes were hit, and yes.
I remember.
Yep. So then we go to the plane. We have to fly home from Omaha, Nebraska. For some reason, our plane doesn't get defrosted. We can't defrost the plane.
Yeah.
So we go back to the hotel. Everyone's about to go back to their rooms. All of a sudden, we see someone. It was either you or someone said, "Hey, drop your bags off. Let's meet back in the meal room in 5 minutes." And it was. You had your glasses on. Your hat was off. The hair was everywhere. So I was like, "Oh shit, this isn't going to be good." Can you, from your point of view, what happened after that?
I remember that so clearly, and I was so frustrated that I felt like that was the first time that year that we kind of went out and played like we're just better. Like you guys kind of played it like, all right, I respect what we do, but I'm just going to kind of do my own thing. It was a close game. I'll go make a play, win it for us. I was so frustrated that we didn't trust each other and just play together to win it. And we didn't, we lost. And I felt like we were going in a bad direction. And so I was already frustrated that we couldn't get out of there. And they had tried to de-ice the plane once. It didn't work. Then we had to go back to the hotel. So I was super frustrated. And I said to the assistants, whatever we do, don't let me talk to these guys. Just keep me away from the players. I know what I'm capable of when I'm in this mindset. Just don't let me talk to them. And then something happened with the food or something. Like they said, we wanted to get you guys room service or something. They said they can only bring it to that room or something. So I said, all right, get them all in the room. And I said again to the assistants, just don't let me talk to them. Just keep me away from them. And then I saw you guys walking past me and I just couldn't hold it in. And I followed you into that room and I was just like, all right, I'm going to let them have it, man. Like this is either going to be, they're either going to be all in after this or not. And you guys, we didn't lose again after that, did we?
We did not lose again after that.
It was just a matter of.
But the best part is what you said, though. It's what you said. This, like, if he doesn't want to tell anybody, I'm fine with that. But Josh, when I say he basically said, it's over from here. Like, this is it. I'm starting over. That's basically what he said.
I really felt like we were good enough. I felt like we were good enough to win it, but you guys thought we were going to do it your way. And I thought, you know what? If I'd rather lose it I'd rather lose it doing it our way than try to just let you guys go and do your own thing. And you guys were just confident players doing your thing. But that was the beauty of coaching you guys. And this is what I think is unique, that I could challenge you guys. I could challenge you guys on character. If I challenged your character, it meant something to you. So you would respond. If I challenged your competitiveness, it meant something to you. Like you had pride in your character. You had pride in your competitiveness. If I challenged it, you didn't blame me or get mad at me. You wanted to prove I was wrong. And I was, but I was challenging you. And then if I challenged your talent, like if you were as good as somebody or someone was better than you, you would respond. It was such a great way to coach. I just knew if you were challenged, you weren't going to back down. You weren't going to quit. You weren't going to blame it on somebody else. You were just going to take the challenge. It was heaven as a coach. It wasn't perfect, but it was heaven. Did you think, what did I do? Threaten to bring in new guys or play all the freshmen probably?
Oh, are you allowing me to speak freely on this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can. We're out
so
of it now.
I'm gonna quote Jay Wright. Actually, this was Gerald at the time. This wasn't Jay. This is Gerald at the time.
Was that Josh's name for me? Is that what Josh called me?
Yeah, that was Josh's name. He said, "Yo, guys, Mikal, Jalen, I know you guys are probably leaving after this year, so whatever y'all do, cool. I'm with it. I love y'all. I thank y'all for everything. As to the rest of you MFers, y'all better get in line or I'm starting over. I'm not doing this shit over again. I promise you, I will start this over from scratch. I don't care. This is what I will do." Like, he was like pointing it out. We're all just like,
we did.
Like, is he for real? And then like we walked upstairs. Like you said, we tried to get like the food down there, and there was something wrong with the food. So then Shaq was like, they can only order certain things off room service, and coach was like, nah, they can order whatever they want. I don't care. Like, this is it. This is it. We go upstairs. Everyone's pacing in the hallway. Like, man, I can't believe you would do that. That's crazy. Like, everyone was hot. We won 11 straight, all by double digits.
That would have been funny.
Won a chip.
Because I would have. That's funny because you like, yeah.
Josh, were you gone or were you on that team?
I was gone because you like, yeah, I wasn't on the team because I would have said, I would have started laughing. If you sat there and was like, yeah, like if I was on that team and you were sitting there like, yeah, Josh, Jalen, Mikal, I know y'all probably gone after this, so it's whatever. I would sit there and be like, and dudes are sitting there pacing. I'm like, I'm good. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sorry.
You had a way. You had a way of bringing things to a light when we needed it. You always lighten things up. You were good for that, man. I give you that.
That was my, like, especially in the league, like getting traded and all that. I always did it like lightly. Like when I got traded to Portland, I knew I was going to get traded the night before. So I'm like, all right, we have a game. We have a game.
This man said courtside.
Yeah, that day. So I knew I'm getting traded the night before. So I'm just like, I don't really know what the package is yet. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to shoot around. I'm going to just go through shoot around, whatever. I'll get traded in the afternoon. So I go to the facility. As soon as I change and I get on the table, I think Woj or Shams, one of them tweeted, New Orleans is in trade talks with Portland. It's going to be centered around CJ McCollum and Josh Hart. So I laid down. I literally got that notification on my phone. I said, I'm out. I got up. I said, all right, I'll see y'all later. I'm about to get traded. And then I go into the locker room and I see, and most of the guys are there at this point. And you know me, I'm an asshole. So I'm gonna make it light and I'm going to be an ass during it. So I just turn, I just look at it. I say, yeah, y'all, I'm out. The only question now is, which one of y'all coming with me? And I'm pointing at all the young guys, and they all sit there. Well, I tell you, some of them looked so nervous. I said, I don't know which one, but one of y'all coming with me. So y'all better figure this out. Trey Murphy was sitting there looking sad. Nikhil was looking sad. Herb was just kind of like, whatever. It was just. That's exactly why I would have been at 18. They would have paid. You think you really gonna do that? I would be like, I don't know. I'll be gone though.
That's classic Josh Hart.
What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Hart.
I'm Jalen Brunson.
And today we're preparing a meal with Beyond Meat. JB always says he cooks better than me, so we got Beyond Steak, and we're about to find out. Chef Tasha always has us eating healthy, so today she's going to help us out and pick a winner.
First thing you want to put is your onions.
Ooh.
Get some flavor on the bottom of that pan. With
a little bit of them on, y'all. Okay.
All of them. Just go with it. Saute about 2 to 3 minutes or so, and then throw in your meat.
I didn't know you can get plain plate steak, man.
Yes, sir, man. Beyond got it all.
Another certified heart healthy meal by the American Heart Association. So right now, we want to dump in our tomatoes, give it a quick stir, and you're going to deglaze your pan with some soy sauce. Some of this sauce over here.
All I know is mine definitely smells better.
What?
Am I meat? Or am I not meat? You get it? Because this is not meat. All right, guys. This is the last round. So whoever wins this wins the cook-off. So, Tosh, go ahead and tell Jalen he lost. Because I know
all right.
Mine is
see
better.
What we got here, guys. Right. Beyond Steak stir fry.
Just a
There's a tiebreaker. I can't say nothing yet.
Yeah, that was like a like a big dub.
So, Jason, yours difference is you put cilantro. Josh don't have no cilantro.
Yeah, cornball.
I didn't need it.
All right. Both of you guys followed the recipe to the T.
I wonder why.
I like it with cilantro. I like it with green onions. A straight up tie.
I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
So, guys, I won. She didn't want to give Jalen the bad news. It's okay. I understand because she's a very nice person. But Jay Hart got the dub. That's what I do. I'm a winner. I do the little things.
Like I said before, he has never been to the playoffs without me.
And I've never been without Beyond.
I have told this story so many times, but have you talked on this show about the way we realized that Mikal Bridges was going to be a good player? What was the years? I'm so bad at remember this. Josh was how many years ahead of Mikal? Two.
Oh
no, what?
Kale redshirted, but he was one. Kale redshirted, but really 1 year. Really 1 year.
But when Mikal, in his redshirt year, Josh was really good. So when he was a redshirt, what were you, Josh, a junior?
No, I was a sophomore.
You were a sophomore, but Josh was established and really good. And Josh would kill people in practice. But then Mikal would get on him, and every once in a while, Mikal would block his shot, and he'd go down the end of the court, and we knew what an ass Josh could be. And the whole coaching staff would be going, no, Josh, no. And he would just take out Mikal, like just clobber him. And Mikal was like 160 pounds at the time. Mikal would go flying and then just pop right back up and get right back at it, D'ing him up. And we were like, yo, this kid, if this kid can put on like 10 pounds, he's going to be so good. But we literally thought we were going to lose Mikal to an injury with Josh chasing him down. You remember that on the breakaways?
No, the only thing I didn't like with Mikal, and I told him this, I think we talked about this on when we had him on the guest. I was just like, for me, I don't care about any, like, I really like, on the court, I really don't care about, like, much. Like, I'm going to compete, I'm going to, like, be cool. But if someone grabs me or holds me, like, that's the only thing that, like, really makes me mad. I don't know why. Like, you're just not, like letting me, like, freely go to, like, wherever I want to go. And not even, like, oh, I'm trying to, like, drive on you. Like, if I'm just, like, making a cut and you grab me, like, it makes me mad. So there was just several times he was lengthy, he was skinnier and all that. So there were times he'll just sit there and grab me, and I used to hate it.
I can tell you honestly, man, I was scared to death that kid was going to get really hurt. I was and I thought, I'm going to have to explain this, that we allow this maniac to chase him down and take him out. Because I didn't want to say, let him. We didn't say, let him go. We would just say, no, Josh, no, because we knew what he was thinking. And he would take him out every time. And we were trying to get our guys to be tough. We were trying to get him to be tough. So we let it go. We were so lucky he didn't get hurt. I was so lucky.
Coach, when we announced that you were coming on the podcast, there was one question. There was a lot of questions that people had for you, but there was one that seemed to appear more than others. And it's something that we talked about when Donte came on. What was your perspective, or tell the story from your point of view on the Josh Hart, Donte DiVincenzo weight room fight incident?
You know, it was amazing. I learned about that from your guys' show or at some interview you guys did. I knew that Josh, I knew Donte picked up the weight, and I knew Josh was tormenting him, because Josh did that to everybody, every young guy when they came in. So I knew it probably was Josh's fault. I knew probably Donte had just gotten to his wit's end. But then I knew it was broken up, and I brought the two of them in, and we talked it out. Both of them were cool. And I never saw anything again after that. And in the interview you guys did, I remember I think Jalen said those two wanted to kill each other, and Jalen stayed between the two of them. Jalen did such an amazing job. I never knew anything was going on. Probably did the assistants know? Because I
gotta draw the line there. I did not stay between them. There were multiple things that happened either before or after that.
Everybody kept it from me, thank God now. I never knew.
I stayed away from that.
But in one of the interviews you said, like, you kept them cool so that we could get through the season together. No, what year was that Dante's sit out red shirt year?
No, it was probably the 17 year. But 17
year?
They didn't hate each other. They just were competitive. And then when you get on the court, they go to compete, but they have such a history off the court. They're get away, don't talk to me. It wasn't it definitely wasn't as crazy as it sounds.
I saw the competitiveness on the court. I know they were both nuts. They were both crazy competitors. And that's what I loved about that team. As you were, Jalen. I remember the drill you used to do? One of the things I always remember about Jalen, remember the layup drill when you'd take a layup and then we'd flip the ball to you, and then you'd have to pivot real strong. We'd have the coaches smacking at your arms. Remember that? I remember Neptune, we were doing practice plan one day, and I'm telling the coaches, yo, be physical with these guys hitting. We got to get them strong with the ball. Nep goes, yo, coach. And Neptune's a big, strong guy. He goes, yo, Jalen Brunson is trying to hurt us in the drill. he is using his elbows and just trying to break our arms.
Absolutely.
I kind of like that.
They deserved it.
I love that. When we try to teach guys how to be strong with the ball like that, we would always use that. We'd always use that example.
This segment is sponsored by Whoop. We've pulled some real data from my Whoop and from Josh's Whoop. We're going to be analyzing a high strain day. When we got this assignment, I knew exactly what day I was going to do. Did you have an idea, Josh, or did you just?
I mean, I just did a random day. I knew what day you were going to do.
So I guess I'll talk through mine first because it's a little bit more, I'll say, entertaining than yours. But I set the record for the highest strain I've ever had on Whoop. It was a 20.5 or 20.6 maybe. Have you ever gotten 20.5? Have you ever gotten that high?
I don't know. I don't know if I ever did.
If you were to like wear yours in an NBA game, for example, what do you think? Like, what is an NBA game strain would be for you?
Yeah. I think like my highest strain NBA game wise was probably about 16 or 17, somewhere around there.
Okay. So I'll put this 20.5 in perspective for people. And just to give some context, I did a race called High Rocks. It was like a fitness race that I trained for about 3 months. It's a mix of running and like functional fitness activities. So it's basically a series of 1 kilometer runs, eight of them, each one with like a workout in between. And you just have to go through the whole thing. So it's like 1 kilometer run, and then the skier, and then 1 kilometer run, and like you have to push a sled, run, pull a sled. Like it's basically that for, my time was 84 minutes. So I figured I would pull my Whoop numbers from that. Basically, for anyone who's familiar with like heart rate zones, you'll appreciate this, but I spent an hour and 20. So basically the whole race in zone 5, which is 90 to 100% of your max heart rate, which is just pure misery. So I spent 80 minutes in zone 5, which is, anywhere between, for me, like 177 and 188 beats per minute. So I just did that for basically 80 minutes straight, and I burned 1,500 calories. And I think it was the worst day of my life. I mean, Josh, you saw me once I crossed the finish line, and I was a dead man walking.
Yeah, no, you were smoked. You were smoked. You made it seem like way easier. You were describing it sounded way easier than what it was. It was actually like just watching it and being like a pro athlete watching it. I was like, yeah, that looks rough. I saw that and I was like, you know what? That's why it was cool that you wore your Whoop, because you're able to actually see the full strain.
For sure.
You had to get a good recovery in. This is why my recovery's always very mid. Right, guys?
Right here.
The day that I picked, I actually had a very good recovery. Yeah, this day I had a 96% recovery in the green. Had a good little lift in. I started with a nice little functional lift. And I'm actually going to see if they can put this in there, because they did a new or fairly new thing where you do your functional fitness, which was weights. And I got all my tonnage and my total reps on. So that was dope. So
very cool.
That was a good one. And then I ended it with just, 20 minutes on the bike. So I got a good recovery in that day. I got a good strain in, which was 15.9. My one child didn't think it was a good enough workout for me. But hopefully I get some good recovery tonight and not have to watch them.
We'll see. Want to try for yourself? Try Whoop for 1 month free on us and start your own health journey today. Head to join.whoop.com/roommates to get started.
Have you guys addressed on the show Josh picking up the headset of Reggie Miller? Have you addressed that?
I'm so glad you said that.
But I'm really glad you said that, Coach.
It's like he didn't respond. He always responds to me when I text him, and I said to him, "Dude, I love you, and I love you, but you got to apologize for that. Like, I get you got caught up in the gaming stuff, but you got to apologize." No response. I got nothing. I got no response from him. Nothing.
Josh, to his credit, Josh is not really a texter, Coach. To his credit,
you got to call him. I got to admit, he's pretty good. He's pretty good with me. I give him credit. He's pretty good. When I put the three of you on there together, he's not great. But if I hit him, he's good.
When someone else responds.
Yes. But But on that one, I didn't want to say, I didn't want to embarrass him in front of anybody. So I put that between me and him. No response ever. I get it. You make a mistake sometime, but come on. You got to say,
ain't no mistake.
Oh, you got
ain't no mistake. And what really, because you know what? No, I'm not doing it because now I'm about to get tight because Reggie Miller keep talking and keep. I'm not gonna say nothing. I heard Reggie Miller bum ass talk about it twice. He better not bring it up one more time. Acting like he the boogeyman. A little scared ass.
But at least you still got to say, like, that's not you. Like, I know how you were brought up. Like, that is not you. That you didn't know that was going to go on national TV.
No, I didn't know that was going to be that was going to go out on national TV.
That's the point. That's the point of the apology.
That'd be more of an apology to that might have been ESPN or TNT.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure Reggie Miller knew.
And the nation.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure Reggie Miller knew what the crowd was saying because, I know they're not big fans of his. I know he had very limited success in the Garden. But, apparently he's the quote unquote, he labeled himself the boogeyman.
I just know your parents. And I know there's no way you were not brought up that way to say that on national TV. I know that. So that was my only point I was trying to make.
Remember when I said that this was like, I was happy you brought this up? I take it back.
No, drop it.
Take it.
Drop it.
Y'all making me mad, bro.
Let's not get him going.
I'm trying to change a new leaf, bro. I felt like I used to curse a lot. I'm trying not to curse as much.
I know you got kids now, man. You got kids now.
Yeah, exactly. My dad keeps reminding me, like, bro, you got kids. You can't be. I'm like, yo, I'm. Even the last episodes of the podcast, you can tell I'm not really. But now y'all almost getting me there. So
this is where we get him, like doing practice or a game when he'd just start losing it. You get in a huddle and like whoever was scoring is like, yo, just put me on him. Like, Josh, it's a 5-man. I don't care. Put me on him. That's where he starts to lose his mind a little bit. But you like that. You like that side of him when you're in competition.
Wait. So he didn't care who he was guarding?
I remember playing at Xavier in a game that 17 years, senior year. And they had, do you remember the big guy's name? They had a really good big man, a 5-man.
It was Jalen Reynolds?
Yeah. Reynolds, yep.
Yeah, he was killing us. And D-Ray got in foul trouble. And I was like, and Josh was like, put me on. I was like, all right, hell with it. We put Josh on. Josh was playing a 5 spot. And we put Chris Jenkins on the 4-man. Josh locked him up. I definitely remember that. These are all things that I would remind our former players that came after you. Like Josh Hart guarded a 5-man at 6'5" and locked him up. But he also got his psycho mode in the huddle yelling at me, put me on him.
I can't wait for Tibbs to see this clip. We going small ball this year. We going small ball.
We went small ball enough last year, bro. From now on.
Nope.
I'm telling Tibbs, coach, I'm good. I got my extension now. I got guaranteed. Now I'm like, yo, height limit I'm guarding is 6'6" and under, 6'6", 6'2" and 6'6". Maybe 6'7", depending on who it is. We good.
Jalen, that's classic. That's classic Josh. Because he'll say this, and then he get to the game, he'll guard anybody.
Yeah.
He'll do whatever Tibbs tells him. That's it. Yeah. That's classic right there, man.
Whatever Uncle Tibbs says, Josh is going to do.
That's the beauty of you guys. I loved the at the end of the year, that one press conference. It might have been after the last game, Jalen, when you guys said, you said like, we got Tibbs back. We trust Tibbs. We believe it. I thought that was awesome, man. And I know you do. And I just think it's great, especially in your league when players do that, because that's when you guys were in college and you guys made mistakes. It's our jobs as coaches to be supporting you in college and then allowing you to do what you do best. In the NBA, it's kind of different. Like the best player's got to support the coach and let him do what he does best. You guys do a great job of that, man. I'm proud of you for that.
Most college coaches don't get to watch so many of their players in the NBA, but few do, and then even fewer get to watch them all on the same team. So what is that like for you? Are you locked into every Knicks game?
It was awesome. I couldn't tell by our text if you were, when you were saying about come to I'll ask you on this podcast, which could be dangerous, but did you get my reasoning for why I couldn't come to those Sixers games? Did you accept it, or you think it was BS?
You were scared, man. You were scared, man.
No,
You're
scared.
No,
I love Philly, guys. I can't. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't just that. It was Doug West, Reggie Redding, and I watched you guys after the game, whether you hugged them or not. I was so happy to see you guys did. And Kyle, there's another part of this, I'll tell you, but those three were on that team. And we always say everyone's role is different, right? But everyone's status is the same. Like Doug and Reggie are assistant coaches. They're not players, but they're part of our family. They're on that team too. So we had the three of you and the three of them. And I didn't want it. I knew everyone was going to say, oh, he's all Knicks. I wanted to just watch you guys do your thing. I sat with me and Patty, watched every game by ourselves. I was going crazy. She's just like, yo, chill, man.
Who did Patty cheer for?
Yeah, that's the main question.
Yeah, she's a little biased for the players. You know, we had three players against one. You know, she loves Kyle, but she's a little biased towards the players. But the funniest thing was, I got to tell you, I was so afraid that Josh and Kyle were going to get into it in that game. I was so afraid. That's what I was worried about. It's like watching your kids play. Like they're going to get in a fight. They're going to get a fight in the backyard. I thought those two. I was watching after the game. Like, did those two hug after the end of the series? Please let those two hug. You guys are going at it.
I think I caught him with an elbow though, because he kept fouling me. He kept slapping my hands. So there was one where I just swung my elbow, and it wasn't one of those like I'm a mess him up. It was just one of those like Kyle back up, Kyle. And then he was like, I forgot what he said. Something. I said, bro, you didn't foul me 3 times before that. He was like, I didn't say that. I'm just saying you almost messed me up with that elbow.
That's what I was thinking about during that series. I wanted everybody to play well, but I'm thinking, don't let these two get in a fight, and then don't let Jalen and Kyle get into like too much of a one-on-one battle where it gets out of control, which you guys did a great job of competing. It was like being back in the Davidson. I loved how you guys compete against each other. But I love his impact on that team as an old veteran. You guys think about that, because you might be that one day down the road. That might be you.
One of us might be.
That's good point.
Yeah,
good point.
Coach, I do got a question. How happy are you that you left college and retired right before all the NIL stuff? Because I feel like some of this stuff's crazy.
What do you know what? We're always talking about your games and stuff in your life. What do you guys think about it for college players? Like, do you think it would have been good for you while you were playing, or how do you look at it?
The only thing I think about truly when it comes to like players getting paid or like capitalizing off their name and likeness is Chris Jenkins.
Yeah,
that's what I think about. Truly, like the amount that he could have made off just that shot is like the shot, like that shot and the Christian Laettner shot. Like those are the shots.
Yeah,
and so like I just feel like it was just a missed opportunity. I mean, obviously not missed opportunity, but like what could have been for Chris. That's what I think about when I think of the NIL stuff. I don't really think about like me or anything. It was just like that sole moment could have been so impactful for him.
Could you imagine Josh in college if he had $100,000? What would I be worried about?
$100,000. If I would have came back. What they getting now? I probably could have got like $500,000 to $750,000.
Yes.
Boy, I would have bought like a Ferrari. I didn't even have a driver's license.
Remember, I used to have to tell him.
a couple watches. Yo, JB,
Remember, I used to have to limit his shoes.
Nah.
Remember, I used to try to limit his shoes. Tell him like you're not allowed to buy any more shoes. Didn't he?
That's
Didn't he have a whole? Didn't we have to move him out of in the summer when we changed dorm rooms? Didn't he have a whole dorm room with just sneakers one year? Was that Josh?
That was before I got there.
Was that you, Josh?
I had a bunch of shoes. I had a bunch of shoes, and I had like 2 lockers. And y'all didn't know that. I roughed whoever's locker. I think it was like at one point, like the locker next to me was open, but then they tried to put like a practice player or like a walk on next to me, and I just roughed them because I needed the space for like the hooping shoes.
I used to have to go in the locker room and pull out his sneakers. Like, do you wear these? Do you wear these? Put them in a bag. Like, we're giving these away. He had so many sneaks in there. So imagine if he had the money, and he didn't have any money back then. Imagine if he had the money, what we'd be dealing with. Oh my God!
Would you have let me and Josh wear any color shoes?
I probably, but the way it is now, if you had like NIL deals, I'd probably have to. But you know what though? To answer your question, Jay, it's not the NIL. It's the transfer portal that's crazy. Like, Josh would have been gone after freshman year. He would have been gone. No doubt. If he didn't have to sit out somewhere, he would have been gone. I know it. Jalen, you might have too. After freshman year, you might have been like, yo, I'm not putting up with this. Yeah. Our freshman year is tough at our place, man. It is. Yeah. It is tough. But then it's like what you say now, Josh. Like you guys, you have a mentality that I can handle anything. I've been through being challenged. I've been through some failures. I've been through tough times. I've been through someone pushing me, and I've handled it. So I got it. If you would have left, you would have never. That's what's killing. You can't coach anybody when you're that. Like, now you're pros. You don't need it as much. You don't need, like, as you said, Jalen, the development of a young man, being a young man. You don't need it. But when you're 18 to 22, you need it. And if you're just going to leave every time you don't get what you want, that's the part. It's not the NIL. The guys making money is good, and they're actually doing a good job with it. Imagine what you guys would have got, man.
We would have broke the bank.
One of us would have broke the bank, and the other one would have got a lot of like second place stuff, like for winning. Being second national player of the year.
That money's still green, brother. Because the thing is, you left, so you would have gotten some, but you would have been signed the year before, so you would have got some. If you came back, you would have got a crazy bag.
So I would have came back. Think about it.
Did we ever?
Yeah, you probably would have. You definitely took a pay cut. If you got paid NIL, you probably took a pay cut to go to the second round.
Did you guys ever talk about, Josh? Did you ever address like why you did come back? What you did on your workouts that year after
you did 16? Come back. They said, "Oh, he's not ready. He need to go back to school."
Because he was. Did you ever talk about that, Josh? Because that was a blessing.
Coach calls me. What did you call me? I think Coach called me after at my Atlanta workout. Atlanta was drafted in 21. So, and I'm sending him like Atlanta. I'm like, it's cool. Da da da. So he calls me. I had dinner with the GM. I'm blanking on his name right now.
He's not there anymore. I was trying to think of that too.
But he was, hold on. I can't find Wes Wilcox. That's what it was.
Yes.
I had dinner with Wes Wilcox. I was feeling good the night before. I was like, all right, cool. Workout. It was me, DeAndre Bembry. I forgot. It was like a couple other people. But like, I guess like they were like mainly thinking of like drafting me and DeAndre Bembry. And he had a good workout. I think Coach called me like the next day and was like, basically was like, yeah, they were really thinking about drafting you at 21. It was like you and DeAndre Bembry, but They said you didn't have that good of a workout. They said you ain't had that good of a workout.
No. I told you had gone to a couple other workouts. Now, granted, you were exhausted. We had won the national championship. We did all the celebrating. We did everything. You did workouts, but I know you were tired and you were amazing that year. But I said to you, like, Josh, these guys want to draft you. They're telling me they want to. You just got to go in there, show some energy. You're going through these workouts, and they're saying, like, he's not playing with any energy. I'm like, that's all the guy does. He plays with energy all the time. I said that Wes Wilcox told me just all he has to do is come in and play. We want to draft him. And I called him after. He goes, he just went through the motions. He's like, I can't tell you. I don't know what happened. That's why I called you afterwards and said, like, and then I remember you saying to me later, you're like, Coach, I was exhausted. They watched me. This is typical Josh. They watched me play during the NCAA tournament. They know what I could do. I was tired. I'm like, dude, this is the NBA. You got to go into these workouts and prove yourself in the NBA, which the next year he did a great. Then all the workouts the next year, you were great.
Yep. Then they
but that's thickhead. That's why you guys need to be coached when you're 18 to 22. Like that, I never thought that I had to tell you that you had to go play hard in these workouts because you played hard all the time. So there was never a time you didn't. So I thought he's going to go in and whoever you put him against, he's going to kill the guy. And I remember you saying to me, I said, what were you thinking? And you're like, I just thought they watched me in the NCAA tournament. They know what I can do. I was like, unbelievable, man. But it worked out for us. Thank God for us. We got you for another year.
So, Coach, you've coached plenty of Final Four teams. Let's talk about your first, 06. What was so special about that team?
09 was the first Final Four. 06 was that.
06 was the Elite Eight.
That was
Elite Eight.
That was cool. That team was – I feel bad for those guys. Nah, not bad. But, I mean, there's a special place in my heart for those guys because that was Randy Foye, Alan Ray, Curtis Sumter, Jason Frazier. That was our guys. And that was our first recruiting class. And those guys were good enough. They were good enough to win a national championship. The year before, we played Carolina in the Sweet 16, and they called with like 30 seconds left. They called
travel.
Yeah, on Alan Ray. He had an and one. One referee called a foul and one, which would have put us up one. The other referee came in and changed it and called traveling. We lost by one, and Carolina went on to win the national championship that year. So then that was the next year, 06. They went to the Final Eight. And in that 05 year, we blew out Florida, blew them out. And all those guys came back. We got them in the Final Eight, and they were so fired up to play us. And they beat us in the Final Eight. But I love that team. Well, we literally started Mike Nardi, 6'2", Kyle Lowry, 6'1", Alan Ray, 6'2", Randy Foye, 6'4", and Will Sheridan, 6'9". That was our starting lineup. It was so much fun playing those guys.
That was the start of the small guards.
Yep. That was the four guards. That was the first time we did it. And we did it because the year before, in 05, Curtis Sumter tore his ACL in the NCAA tournament before that Carolina game. And then the next year he tore it again right before we would start the season. So that was a special group because I feel like those guys, they set the foundation for what you guys did.
This is so random, but Alan Ray had an injury that I remember so vividly.
Oh.
That, like, one of the worst, obviously not like an ACL or Achilles, but just one of the weirdest, like, worst things I've ever seen on a basketball court.
Do you guys remember that?
No, what was that?
Did you see it?
No,
Yeah,
I never saw it.
I never saw it live, but I remember seeing it. Like he guy's eye, literally his eye poked out, like right here.
What?
Like,
Yes.
No, I know.
Yes. In the semifinals of the Big East tournament against Pitt, his eye got poked out and it was on. And you remember, and you know Uncle Jeff, our trainer, when I saw him lean over him and I saw his face in shock, that dude doesn't react to anything. His face was in shock. His eyes were bulging. I was like, this is bad. And I saw him holding his eyeball. They put it back in, and it was okay. It was the most bizarre injury I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of which, those Levance Field, Sam Young, Pitt days that was a hell of a team.
They were beasts, man. Those guys were beasts. That was the team we beat in 2009 to go to our first Final Four. We beat them in the Final 8. Levance Field, Young, Blair. Was it Marcus Blair? Is that his name? The big guy?
DeJuan
Blair. That was a great team, man.
I have a question speaking of that. So you coached in the old Big East. You coached in the new Big East. Obviously, you're removed now, so you can sort of say it, but you miss the old Big East? Like, is it tough to go from UConn, like the heydays of like UConn and Pitt and just like Georgetown to obviously just teams that
Xavier, Creighton, and a mother
right.
like
I guess you could
weak
say
schools.
Listen, I'm not just saying this to be politically correct, but it's honestly totally different. I can honestly
it's totally
say
worse.
No, because look at last couple of years, like Creighton's Final 8, Marquette's Final 8. I mean, we've had Connecticut's won national championships. I think it's come full circle where the teams are just as talented. It's just the college basketball has changed. And those early years think about when we were playing Georgetown back in those early years, and I did see your podcast, Josh, where you said you wanted to go to Georgetown. I can't believe that. But Georgetown literally had Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning on the same college team. I mean, those guys, the guys would stay 4 years back then, and there were fewer top-level teams. The talent was incredible, and the physicality in the Big East, because the rules were different, was crazy. When the Big East changed and broke up, I was heartbroken. I really thought I'm going to have to get another job because this was my dream, and now it's not going to be the same. So the first couple of years, I was hesitant about the new Big East, but then it turned into an incredible conference where I think it's the best basketball conference in the country because the other conferences, they've got so much football they got to deal with. We deal with basketball. That's it. We've had the national champions in UConn and Villanova in the last few years. I love it. So I was upset when it broke up, but I love where it is now. And I really love it being just basketball.
Coach, who's better, 2016 or 2018?
Oh, don't do that to me, man.
The thing, you know what I realized when I come to terms with?
What?
Only the people that was on the 2018 team asked that question. So I feel like there's something there where they're yearning for, coaches' love and acceptance. You know what I mean? I realized that.
You guys, you can't do that to me, man.
No, hold on. Let's go back to you, Josh. No one's trying to get coaches' love.
No, it's okay. No. I get it. We were like the first national championship. We had Ryan. We had me. Like, I get. He loves you guys. He really loves y'all. You guys took him on incredible journeys and rides. Like, he loves y'all. He for sure does. Y'all don't got to battle, with 16, bro. Like, he got love for y'all, bro. It might not be as much as 16 and us, but he got love for y'all, bro. I promise. I know Coach, man. He's a great dude. He loves you guys.
Yeah. Right. My memories of 8, like I love in 18 that I told Josh, because he was like a rookie or second year guy. I'm like, dude, you don't have that much money. Do not take a private plane to this game. Do not do it. I'm telling you, I know you love us. I know you support us. I come out, I look at his stats. I see him. I'm like, damn, I knew it. I knew. There was no doubt in my mind he got the plane.
Josh bought the plane, though. He still has it. He bought the plane.
Hey, thank God, maybe he knew. But that was Josh. You're right, Jalen. I should have said to him, hey, why don't you get a private plane and come on down for the game? that he probably wouldn't have done
wouldn't
it. Right. I remember I saying to him, I remember telling him on the phone, do not do this. You don't have that kind of money. You can't. I know you love us. You don't have to show us your support. We know you're behind us. Of course, he's there.
It was Luke Walton's fault.
Did he come with you?
Luke Walton's fault. No, we had a game the night before, and we were leaving. We played Sacramento at home. And obviously, this is my first year in the league, so it's like this is young Lakers. So like, we suck at the time. Like we all nice now, but then we was not good. So we lose the sack, and the only thing I'm thinking about the whole game is like, dog, we gonna have to sit there and like have film or something in the morning before we leave, and I'm not gonna be able to go to this game because it was a 7 a.m. Southwest flight. I was like A3. I paid for priority boarding and everything. We lose. Next day we have to do that. And literally we got to the practice facility, and he was like, guys, we walked through like 2 plays, and then it was like, all right, get whatever y'all need. Luke Walton. Shout out to Luke. I love Luke.
Did you take Southwest?
No, I missed that plane. That's why I had to PJ. It was all Luke's fault.
That's what I thought.
I'm gonna text Luke now. I'm like, yo, I need my 15, 20K back.
That was so typical Josh Hart, man. I love that. But those teams were totally different experiences. That first time in 16, like I don't know what I exuded to you guys, but I wasn't sure we could win it. Like I knew we could, but it wasn't like I was positive we were going to win it. I knew we were good enough to, but anything could happen. It was proved by that game. But then 18, as we started playing, and I saw what that team, I was like, I knew, because we had done it once, like I knew this team can win it. That still doesn't mean you're going to, but like I knew, like this team is really good, having done this once before. So it was 2 totally different experiences. And, I love you guys. I love you guys both. It cracks me up that you argue about it, but it's to me, it's like your kids, man. You can't split them up, man.
I think it's 16. I'll say this, being on both teams, I would say 16 was storybook. Like,
yeah,
we lost in a Big East championship. We were probably going to be the 1 seed if we won. Lost it, went to the 2 seed. It was like that. It was those couple years where we Nova didn't get it past the first weekend in a row. All we were focused on was like, getting past that first weekend. Get past the first weekend. And then we did it. Mm-hmm. And everyone was excited. All right, now we got to refocus up. No one spoke of a national championship until it was national championship game. Like it wasn't like we were just step by step, and it was amazing. It was like storybook for me. It was like storybook. 18, go ahead, Matt. What?
I was just say the fact that you guys played Oklahoma so early in the season, and what happened there, and then to play them again and win by the largest margin in Final Four history is crazy.
Yeah, that whole thing was ridiculous. And then going to 18, I just felt like Coach said, our team had that confidence. Like we knew we were good. Like we definitely had that confidence. And like, I feel like once someone like poked the bear, like tried to out tough us, we're like, oh no, that's not happening. And then once we had that Creighton game, we won like 11 straight of just like playing the way we knew how to play after that, and it was on from there. So I choose 18.
So obviously I did I did the first 2 games of the finals for NBA Countdown. So Jalen said I should quit my day job. I found my calling. So I posted a photo of me doing an NBA Countdown saying, might quit my day job. And then Mikal comments and says, come to the Nets, ? So I commented back for the people just listening on audio, and I just said, are you okay? if they have you hostage, just blink twice or just blink and we'll save you. So I just wanted to make sure he was okay, because I knew it, no way in his right mind he would, suggest something that idiotic. So I just wanted to make sure like he was okay, he was safe, and we didn't have to save him. So that's just kind of what I wanted to make sure.
Such a good friend.
How about the TV? How about the TV stuff, man? Aspirations after basketball, Josh?
We'll see. I got to do it a couple of times to really, answer that one.
I'm glad, Coach, you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, because this man right here, I'll never forget. I was like, hey, maybe after basketball, after coaching, I would want to get in the TV. I would love that. And Coach used to be like, I just don't think so. Like, being on TV, I just feel like it's just so. I wouldn't do it. I just don't see myself ever doing it. I remember Coach saying that to me like multiple times whenever I talked about like post basketball. Now this man's thriving.
Now he out there.
You can't get every weekend. He's somewhere.
You know what? You're right. I didn't think I would want to do it, but that, and the first year I actually did it thinking like I'm going to try this. But you know what I loved about it the most is going the day before, like we do a Saturday game, going on Friday and watching the teams practice. You get to do that in the NBA because you switch teams, but when you're in college, you only see the same. I never saw anybody else practice. So I get to see everybody prepare for the games and then be in different arenas when we're not playing there. I have loved seeing the other side of it. It's been really cool.
Okay. That's okay. Cool. I thought you were going to say what you really enjoyed was the day before the game. You cast that check because they pay you in advance. Because I know Turner slid that nice little checkbook over. He said, "Here you go. Do a couple of these games, Coach. Here you go."
Hey, imagine I'm going to practice. They literally do Jalen Brunson drill. Listen to the guys say Brunson drill. They do the jump stop, pivot, little step back three, a little step back pull up. But like seeing what other guys do to prepare for games, and then like going to a Kansas practice and then seeing how they run their fast break. And we used to have to defend that all the time. It's really cool. I love doing that.
For those listening, this is someone compiled old tweets of Josh's from 2014 and 2015, where he was posting selfies of him in class, talking about how bored he is.
That was 10 years ago, bro. That's when everybody used to do selfies, bro. Now it looks crazy.
The best part was Shannon responded to this, and what'd she say? She was like, something he would come in. What did you say? Oh, there we go. Cam pulled it up. She said, LMAO, this man would come to class 30 minutes late and go right to sleep.
Wow, she is snitching.
She is snitch, bro.
She is snitch. She is snitching.
I can say this at Villanova. He was a good student at Villanova.
Man, I got my paper.
Thank God. I never had to worry about that. Arlie should be on him. Arlie should be on him if he wasn't. But thank God. Never had to worry about that, both of you. Which, Jalen, that reminds me of one of the great meetings I ever had with a player and a family was after your sophomore year. I had you and your mom and dad come in, and I had a meeting, and I said, look, I think he's ready. He's ready to go to the NBA. And if you guys want to do it, I support it. I thought he needed to get a little better defensively, need to get a little stronger. And he did it this year. He's proven it. And I think he's good to go. And your mom's like, is that all you had to say? I said, yes. She said, well, he's not leaving until he gets his degree. And his dad said, and he's not good enough yet. And I was like, is that it? Is this meeting over? They're both like, yep, this meeting's over. I'm like, good for me. Let's go. One of the best meetings I ever had.
The high top forces?
Oh Lord.
JB, what's this photo for the audio listeners?
These are 2 photos of Rick Brunson, one in the New York jersey, one in the Bulls jersey, wearing some high top forces in a game, which is unheard of. Unheard of. But Coach used to play in Chuck, so I mean, I guess.
No.
That's crazy.
No. Pops was a killer, though, man. Rick Brunson was a killer.
You remember the first time you met him?
I was an assistant coach at Villanova, and his high school coach brought him down, and he was a McDonald's All-American, brought him down from Boston to watch our practice. And I came over and said, we didn't know he was coming. And I came over and said hello. And Coach Massimino, we didn't even know who he was. And I said hello to him, said hi to his coach. Yeah, you could stay and watch practice. And then they just left. And I remember Rick remembered like, they didn't even know who I was. And he went to Temple. So when I called Rick to recruit Jalen, Rick said, all right, you screwed up recruiting me. Don't screw this one up. And I was like, all right, I got you on this one, man. And we did. We screwed that up, man. He killed us when he was at Temple.
And when he was, I remember my mom being from Long Island. When he would come home in the summer, when I was born, he would come work out at Hofstra.
Yeah, he did a great thing. Before he was playing for the Portland Trailblazers. Before the All-Star break, we were getting our program going at Hofstra. We had like a 7:30 in the morning practice. He played the night before. We watched him on TV and took a red eye after the game and flew back the next morning and was in our gym working out at like 7 a.m. the next morning. And it was so great for me to show our players, like, look, this was him on TV last night playing. It was the All-Star break. This was his last game. He got on a red eye, flew back, and now he's working out. First thing he does when he comes back. That's what it takes to be a pro. That's where the work ethic came from for Jalen. And he used to work out at our place all summer because your mom would come back in the summer and be up there in Long Island. We became great friends. I always wanted to hire him as an assistant coach. I always wanted to work with him because I have so much respect for him.
No comment on that.
Not when I had you, though. That I wasn't going to do.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, wait.
What is that?
The side of the basket. I had the side of the backboard. This is Josh's pregame routine.
This is my pregame. I do this every game. My first shot that I make, I have to juggle, and then I looked around to look around and make sure, like, yo, anyone see this?
Oh my God.
Bro.
Jalen, imagine what our pregame shooting routine used to be. This is what I'm talking about. When I asked you guys, you got to do it our way. Imagine our pregame routine and then compare that to juggling it like a soccer ball and shooting a three from the corner to get started as your pregame routine.
Yep.
I support it, though, man. I told you I would. I support it. It's working.
He's just saying that. Next one.
I have to keep my word.
The hell
starts with these?
Oh my Lord.
Oh yeah, Rick was out there putting in work. Rick Brunson highlights. Hey, wow. Oh yeah, he's talking his talk too. Yeah, Rick.
Is that a jump stop?
That was a jump stop.
Oh yeah,
that was a jump stop.
He had that back in the day.
Hey, tray ball.
Wow.
Yeah, Rick. Excuse me.
That's awesome.
He's talking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's talking his talk too.
Where was this?
Where is this? Australia?
Australia. It's Australia.
That's cool.
This is probably when I was. This is probably when I was born because he wasn't there when I was born. I don't think I told the world that.
Wow. Who did he play for? The 36ers?
Adelaide 36ers.
Are all of the lanes shaped that way overseas, or is it just Australia? Or
No, FIBA. All FIBA used to be like that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's still.
All FIBA used to be. No, they changed it.
No, they have the international lane though.
I don't think
Right?
so. I mean, last summer it was straight. It was a regular
Straight NBA
rectangle. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, actually, you're right. For the Olympics, think of the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's right. You know what's funny about your parents? You're talking about your parents. Both of your parents, most parents ask for like they want things, from the program. Both of your parents were the opposite. Remember, Josh, when we have cookouts at my house, your dad would come up and do the cooking. He'd grill because he's a chef and he was awesome. But he'd grill at our house. He'd be out there sweating, cooking up his shrimp on the barbecue and everything. And then Jalen, your dad, I had to ask him not to work you out. Remember when we'd practice and then he'd come in and take you later at night and you guys would come back and work out again after practice? I had to call you guys in and be like, yo, either he does his shooting drills with us in the day or you at night, but I can't have him doing both. We're going to kill him. We're going to kill this kid. And then he gave in.
We still did it. We still did it.
Did you really? See, that's another thing I didn't know.
No, it's, for sure. Like I would rather you be like, hey, you're in the gym too much. You gotta relax. Versus being like, yo, like you're not putting in enough work.
That was never.
Yeah, that was never like a thing. But like for me mentally, sometimes I just need to go get a nice workout in. Like it was just like, it's like that was my mental peace. Like night before games, like I go in and shoot here. Like I go shoot after practice. I may not shoot in that morning or do something light in the morning, but I'm gonna come back and shoot night before.
So you're saying Coach Wright's workouts weren't hard enough, or
I literally just said now. I literally said I still do it now. It's cool. All right, dog.
But remember, we used to
someone was doing the work in. Someone was doing them. Someone can actually shoot on this fucking call. Let's talk about,
that's not my role, brother.
Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is.
Coach, I'm a 4-man. I'm a power forward.
Yeah, you should be
I'm a
great
screener,
shooter.
Roller, short pocket.
You should be a great shooter, man. You should be.
Pocket.
That should be your summer this summer. You're so close to being a great shooter. You're so close.
Yeah.
Come on,
We can
man.
do it, JJ.
Come on, this summer.
I will. I'll tell you this: when I can't run around like an idiot as much, then you'll be like, you're gonna see me at like 38, 39, 40.
There's always an answer to everything. You can't just be like, all right, you're right. There's always an answer.
Right.
I'm on the back half of my career now, so I'm out here just vibing. I'm here. I'm just, hoping Jalen scores 40 a game, and I'll just go get a couple rebounds and pass on the ball.
Man, you got to do that this summer, man.
Sure.
You got to be a great shooter. You're so close,
Coach
man.
Tibbs told me. Tibbs was like, "Yo, Josh, like when you get the ball, just give it to Jalen. You don't worry about shooting. Give it to Jalen and let him work." I said, "Coach, don't worry, but I got you."
I know Tibbs not saying that, man.
So you don't got to worry about me passing.
Exactly.
Matt on the high school team didn't pass it, right?
Nah, Matt was a shooter.
I know that, man. I know that. Carnegie Mellon, baby.
We were on the last episode, and I asked Tibbs like where he would stack up in terms of other NBA coaches, like in terms of actually playing. And he goes, "Listen, if you played D3, you're no good." And I was just like,
right to Matt.
Jalen got offset and walked away. He was laughing so hard.
That's awesome, man.
So funny.
That's not true, though, man. Hey, much
You
love,
started-
man.
you
I started
started
D3. I started D3 coaching at Rochester, man. Much respect for D3 ball players.
There we go.
Much respect.
Finally.
For love of the game, man. That's true love of the game.
Because not much else for it, so you better love it. Let's talk Knicks. What is your funniest story about Josh and Jalen?
I just when they did the first press conference they did together when Josh was eating the pizza. I put the three of them on a text, and I was like, guys, I get it, but Josh, that's not professional. Jalen, can you talk to him about this? Jalen texted me back on, I have no control of him. And Josh texted me back, I'll get a marketing deal out of this, I promise. Like,
Hey,
I got two.
right,
I got a couple of them since.
I'm giving up. Speaking of that, did you get a Mike and Ike deal?
Yep. I am a proud ambassador of Mike and Ike.
When I saw that, man, I actually retweeted that one. I'm like, this is a lifelong dream for him. No one would truly believe this, but I know that's a lifelong accomplishment for you.
Yep. Y'all gonna see me out there with my face on some boxes, man.
I can't wait for that, man.
At Brunson Muse, Coach, did you see this guy, the guy in the suit, becoming a top 10 player and top 4 MVP candidate in the league in his future while you were coaching him?
JB, is that a high school picture?
That's from. I think that's from.
Is that Donte blowing you a
It's
kiss?
Donte. That's not Donte blowing me a kiss. That's not Donte blowing me a kiss. That is. I think that's from like Canoe Brook. I think it's from like Canoe Brook or something like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. One thing I remember that was amazing was when I did my home visit with Jalen, his mom took me into his bedroom and showed me, no one would believe this, but motivational cutouts all over the wall of sayings, pictures, like articles of games that Jalen, like tough games that he lost. Like she would change it on the wall all the time based on like the next game that was coming up. It was incredible. I was blown away. I can't say that I knew he would have been one of the top 4 candidates for MVP, but I knew that this dude's something special. When I watched him in high school, I was like, this basketball IQ is on a level I've never seen at this point in someone's career. And I thought really, and I was wrong. I thought staying with Luka, he could like be the Robin to Luka and keep Luka in line. But he made the decision to bet on himself, and it was the right decision. So I'm in awe of his decision and his fortitude to want to take on that responsibility. I love it. I love it.
In a market like New York, no less.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, man. Exactly. You know what the big challenge is next year, being in a market like New York where everybody expects it. Now handling that is a whole new challenge, which I know you two will be great at.
Jarvis_K3, Coach Wright, rank the following players in order of their coachability. Jalen, Josh, Donte, Mikal, Ryan. I can tell y'all this now. It's Ryan, Jalen, Mikal, Donte, me. That's it. Ryan and Jalen, they were like, they were like, oh my, Coach, what do you need us to do? Coach, yes, we'll jump stop. Coach, don't worry, we'll talk to the team. Anything you need, Coach. It was mad hype.
That's so good, man. Hey, can I tell you, the first time I went to see Josh play in a high school game, I saw him at AU. I'm like, I love this kid. We got to go see him in high school. Josh, I remember you were playing Flint Hill at Flint Hill. First, like 2 minutes in the game, Josh mauls 2 guys going for offensive rebounds, has 2 fouls. He sits the whole first half, comes out in the second half, fouls a guy, hardest playing guy in the course, just killing guys, foul trouble again, argues with the ref, doesn't get a technical, but he's like out of his mind, you could tell, arguing with the ref, picks up his 4th foul. I hardly got to see, I saw him play like 12 minutes out of a total game. But I'm like, this dude plays so hard, and he's so competitive.
Still got an offer, though.
I did, and I offered him right after that game. Hardly saw him play at all. Do you remember that game, Matt?
Yeah, of course. That was what? Was that senior year or junior year?
Junior year.
I think it was junior year.
You committed before, like just before senior year, right?
Junior.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might have seen him on the court for like 12 minutes. It was incredible. But the competitiveness, physicality was incredible.
Yeah. That game fits a lot of that description fits a lot of games, though. I will say.
Coach, we well, first off, to everyone listening, we appreciate you guys tuning in, listening via video, audio, whatever it is, man. So we appreciate y'all. Thank you for continuing this journey with us. Make sure you guys continue to listen to the episodes, man. So we appreciate y'all, Coach. We appreciate you coming on, getting some good stories in. Somehow, I don't know. Somehow this. I feel like we didn't praise you enough. I feel like we just clowned me for a long time on this. So appreciate it. I mean, most of that's because of Jalen, so I appreciate it.
Love you guys, man. I'm so proud of you guys, and it's fun. It's fun being a part of this. I watch it all the time. I love it.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thanks, guys.